Hi guys, it's Aegis here, and today, finally, I get into a Lianorn build that I really feel comfortable, happy enough to actually showcase you guys instead of just like a entry build. But this one is something that I been thinking a lot, trying a lot, and that's how I finally get there. So it will be a Lianorn build, and if you see from your my thumbnail, then you will see it's a little bit different, which I will start with the right line. It's actually a Rorowa complete right line. So I'm not even like going 1 2 0 1 2 and then 3 going to Lianorn. I'm actually using Rorowa as my right line completely. Which the grade 1 generates 1 token, grade 2 generates 2 tokens, and when you get to grade 3, you get to have 3 tokens and you have defensive. And this is exactly what I want. Because with Lianorn, a few weak points is we need to keep playing cards from our hand to like build the field in order to do our valuable free attacks, to have some good boosters, and also some early pushing, early rush. But that also easily get countered when your opponents like keep hitting your Rigas so you don't have resources, or like when your Vanguard go in you don't do any impressive stuff, like you only hit for 1 damage and do nothing. That really happens with Lianorn. And before your opponents actually get to somewhere like 3 to 4 damage, they are just going to willing to take the hit. And once they take the hit, that means you are not giving them enough pressure, so they actually not using their resources, and they will use those resources to fight back and make you drop your resources. This is what I don't like. Not that the deck is bad for Lianorn, but so far she didn't get there yet. So I'm using the grade 3 Rorowa for is like I can have 3 tokens on the field and they can all be 5k shield, extra shield. That is not from my hand. So if I get like hand restrictions on specific stuff, I can even just use my tokens to be my guard. And if I don't have enough stuff on my board, like I only draw 1 card and I have 0 stuff on my field, I can at least Soul Blast 1, get 2 tokens as a column, and other token as the other column with the card that I draw. I can still do 3 attacks with it. Even though that means one side is only 10k, but 10k is still better than you don't have a unit, right? So even the trigger can pump it to 20k, you can still do something. That's why I am using this right line. And quick spoiler, I'm not running any extra grade 3 Rorowa in my main deck. So this is the only copy you see, that's the only copy you need. Because you want to stay defensive for like Eternal Soul. It's kind of like Final Rush that you do need to stay a little bit defensive while you're still trying to push, saving some of your resources, and then you go into your main dish, right? So this is basically the idea. And with a full Rorowa right line, meaning you can just use Redolina effects even when you're grade 3. So her skill is not simply wasted, and your Momoke will still be benefiting Lianorn when you go to Lianorn, right? So this is basically the right line, and let's also go into the main deck. So in the end, it's still a Lianorn deck, so I'm running 4 of Lianorn. When you go into a build like this, it basically means you are giving up your personal right, basically, because you go for your Rorowa, and then you need to find a good time to go into Lianorn, and unless you still stay for a turn, you have another Lianorn, then you will personal right? So most of the time I'm actually giving up this part, but the deck itself is doing great enough to actually like making you don't feel sad that much when losing a person, right? So with Lianorn, you can boost 3 units to gain extra drive. You can hard blast one, draw one, and call one back to kind of reveal your field. But plus drive doesn't mean you are going to hit more damage. Maybe, not always. Drawing a card doesn't mean it always draws something that you need. And if you have nothing in your hand, you can last one, put one down, and if that's the only unit on your field, you are still going to be pretty helpless. So that's why Rorowa is here. That when you like kind of get early rush, you can still fight back, not only with the tokens but also with your Redolina, which is basically just here. I went for the Redolina because she can be brought back with a lot of ways, and since we can have times to actually stay in the Rorowa, we can do 4 attacks instead of 3. So that already changes a lot of things, because from 3 attacks that you might not even be able to make, now you can kind of guarantee making 4 attacks. Because you have a Redolina, you have your Vanguard, you have your Momoke. What you need is basically 1 to 2 units on the other column, and maybe just an extra token for Momoke to eat, right? And if you go for Rorowa, you can simply just call 3 parent tokens and just eat it with your Momoke. So basically things will just keep cycling, and then you can start playing your key stuff, right? Being able to do 4 attacks during grade 2, grade 3 turns is really important. That's also the weak point with Lianorn before we get announced with the new support that actually create the 4th attack. And you see, without that, that's how much effort I need to make in order to make the value for Lianorn to start shining, because we need to push enough, making our opponents to start dropping resources, start going to the edge to 4 damage, and then we go to Lianorn and they start feeling the pressure. I need a way to actually get there, and that's why Rorowa Redolina is here. And of course, I'm okay, right? And then for the Grid Assault, because it's still a very good card to when you have your Lianorn. Yeah, that's basically the card that you use for Lianorn. Else you can just simply use it as a guard, teaches for right deck and everything. So the build is still mainly around Lianorn, so things are still basically around her. And then 1 Maple, because we do aim to rewrite Grade 3s, so it's still a very good card to just reborn. And while we are trying to make some strong columns or even some fodder for our Momoke to eat, you can simply eat your Maple and rewrite and bring her back and eat her again, right? So you can keep recycling no matter what. It's still a free unit, so she's here. And then 1 Flower Girl to Soul Charge 2, and this card really saved my life. I tried it in a match where I have basically no hand, no field, no zones when I'm on Grade 3 Rorowa, right? And then I draw into my card, draw into this Flower Girl, play her because I have 0 cards in my soul. I Soul Charge 2, I Soul Blast 1, bring 3 tokens, 2 as a column, 1 behind her, and my Vanguard. I can still do 3 attacks because my opponents go all out and try to wipe everything I have, and I basically need to drop every single card in my hand to survive, and she came in. And I still pull 3 attacks on my opponent, and they don't even know guard, and I end up winning the game. That's how wonderful this build is. Because if I'm using Lianorn, I won't have the tokens to actually pump my power to save resources from my hand to actually guard everything. So under the same condition, if my Vanguard is Lianorn, I lost. On Rorowa, I barely live, and this with Rorowa saved my life. that happens. That's why I like this build so much, that even though some people might just call it because you're using your Rorowa right line is basically a Rorowa deck, but not exactly, because I do have plans for Lianorn, and I just need to find a way to actually make me to survive, right? So I think having this kind of moments really proves that this build is working, and like especially in this kind of extreme condition, this build really shines by surviving. And then I am running 4 of our DN. So she is a power booster, and she can also bring back a unit, which as long as you have a grade 3 or higher Vanguard and this card appears to rear circle from hand, you can counterblast and bring a grade 3 or lower unit to your field, which can be basically your Redolina, and you can bring back another Momoke, and you can do 4 attacks again. That's just impressive, and that's just important because we don't counterblast that much, but if you do these 2 counterblasts, you basically get, you use this counterblast, bring her back, counterblast 1, get a Momoke, and you basically have your setup ready again. I think 2 counterblasts to get your field set up again is kind of cheap, so it's really good. Else you can simply just do like when you have a Lianorn, you can go for like a Greed Assault, you can go for anything that actually helps you out. Any great ones that you need to boost with. 2 of the Amarie, just for a little part adjustment and able to draw. Nothing too special for her. And then 4 Piana, we know what she does. Keeping the soul, being able to like do some card switch. Also feeling soul, so you can use your Rorowa to generate tokens. A lot of things can be done. And then 3 PG as unit, and 1 of the order PG, just because I have, and like it's just in case. So don't need to worry too much. If you don't have the order PG, you can just use the normal one. Yeah, basically. And then I'm running 2 of the in the Dark Knight, the Resentment Freezes, the new normal order that allows me to look 3, drop 1, and call 1 out, basically, right? So it helped me searches the key pieces I want. It could be a Maple, it could be a Redolina, it could be a Soul Charge Flower Girl, it could be any of the great ones that I actually need to boost with. It can be a Great Assault. So this card I am tempting to add an extra copy, which I might if I'm taking out 1 of the Amarie. But so far 2 is also okay. 3 will be kind of better. So it's up to you. 2 to 3, you just like mixing the ratio between these 4, and you will be fine. And then we're going to triggers. So here open triggers because we love all the effects. Force only crit, so that we can get more souls if you want to, and then 3 more crits. 4 of the 10k draws, because draw is good and 10k is not that bad. And then 3 normal heals and 1 of the effect heals. It can be against the reset, it can be against the crit. Just choose the one that fits your meta, and you're good to go. Yeah, so I think I also explained how the deck works already. So yeah, and I did talk about like the most intense match that I faced. So what you want to do is you go from here, you go from 1, you generate 1 token. If you normally, what I will have is like 1 of these, and then 1 of the token, and I will just do like swing, right? If they kill my token, next time I can just kill my piano and bring 2 tokens, right? But if they did not, I can just pop 1 token when I go to grade 2 and make 2 tokens, right? That's it works. And then I will start using my red Alina, bringing Momoke, and if I want to eat, I can eat 1 and do a 10k swing, right? And this can still hit, this can still hit, this can still hit. But if you want to be a little bit scary, you can eat 2 and see if you have another, like a maple to call, then you can still do something scary. But if not, as I said, save your resources, just eat 1 and do this, right? Next, you go into this. Now, that's really a few things you can do. Like, if you have this in your hand, right? What you can do is you can actually eat 3 and use 1 to bring it back, right? This is something really good to do. And then you can solo last 1 to bring 2 more tokens. By doing that, your Momoke is plus 15k. It's already like a 20, which can make this a 30 base. And then this is an 18 line, this is a 13 line. This a little bit weaker, but I think that's kind of alright. And because you do have a pretty good one on lower regards, you actually get 5k plus, so it's still 18, so not that bad. And when your opponent's starting to punch you, you can simply have 15k shield right here. Because even Momoke is also a token unit, so you can just do this. This is 15k shield. This is an extra 5k shield. That's already 20k shield on your view. And that really saves your life. I will keep repeating saying this, and because that's so true. And then next, you can actually go into Lianorn, right? And once you go into Lianorn, your Momoke will not be able to attack from back row, but when you eat your units, the power pump is applying to your Momoke, right? It can be 15k, 20k, and then say you have this, and you have something like this, right? Then basically your formation is still fine, because when you use your Lianorn skill, you rest these 3, right? And your power from Momoke is not only benefiting to your Lianorn, but can also benefit to your Red Alina, because they will withstand. So it's really not that bad, because you're pumping your Momoke with a higher power. Even eating 1 unit is still helps, and then this can still benefit this line. And once you get any kind of trigger, like if your opponent say 2 pass, you can simply just pump into your Momoke, like what you usually do to your other regards, which might be a piano when you do this. But of course, you can still get to choose which one you want to apply the threat for, and then you withstand. You can still boost with what you pump for. So I have to keep repeating, I really like this deck so much. I like being able to do some defensive actions when I need to, and that usually saves me from losing. And when I'm ready, I go into offensive. And because I have tokens to save my hand, I can actually keep some resources to prepare for my Lianorn. That's what I wanted to do for a long time, and I finally find a way to actually do it. Yeah, so I think that's it I need to tell for this deck profile. Do let me know if you have any questions, because this kind of idea, I don't think I see anyone actually doing this yet, which hopefully can also bring you some light if you are having a little bit trouble when playing Lianorn, because I do see a lot of people actually struggling. Some of my friends are also struggling, even myself was struggling before, and before we actually have the new support to generate the 4th attack, do give this build a try. or maybe even when the new cards arrive, I can even just upgrade it on top of this, maybe. Or maybe I would go back to a full Lianorn right line and actually do something, or maybe I would just only change this to keep the plant tokens going. I will see. But before that, which is why I'm making this deck both up before the set release, so that if anyone wants some reference, that before we get some support for Lianorn, what you want to be defensive while trying to do a little bit offensive, so you can get a balance and trying to drain your opponent's resources, this is a deck for you. Yeah. So if you like this deck, like this idea, give this video a like, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, or like any other different builds that you're going for Lianorn, and then subscribe to my channel for more deck profiles, deck fights, unboxings, and yeah, I think that's it I have for today. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.